X-Men 97 pushed to 2026, and Beau DeMayo explains why T'Chaka was not T'Challa in season 1 of the show. This is Josh Wilding from Comic Book Movie Reporting. Now, in recent weeks, X-Men 97 has been making headlines for all the wrong reasons. The series failed to win the Outstanding Animated Program Emmy, losing to Netflix's Blue-Eyed Samurai, and former showrunner Beau DeMayo continues sharing damaging claims about Marvel Studios following his firing. Regardless, the series was a critical hit and fans remain eager for Season 2. Unfortunately, a new report from Nexus Point News reveals that X-Men 97 won't be returning to the streaming platform until 2026. This is said to be the result of changes being made to the story and scripts. Matthew Chauncey has replaced DeMayo as head writer and is thought to be reworking the drafts DeMayo penned before being dismissed from the show. X-Men the Animated Series executive producers Larry Houston and Eric and Julia Lewald will remain in their roles as consulting producers. The main voice cast will also return, though there is currently no word on the new additions. As disappointing as this delay is, Marvel Animation fans won't be left wanting in 2025. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and Marvel Zombies are both on the way, which is weird to me because when I was covering What If Season 2, the end of last year, both those shows were supposed to come out this year, so they must have gotten rescheduled and shifted around. And we'd also imagine What If Season 3 will also premiere next year as well. Okay, and then the second part of this story, the X-Men 97 finale featured some huge Marvel Universe cameos, including Black Panther. However, we later discovered that T'Chaka was beneath the mask and not T'Challa. The decision perplexed viewers, particularly when T'Challa's father is typically portrayed as the former Black Panther who fought alongside Captain America in World War II. Which in this timeline could admittedly still be the case. T'Challa being sidelined spawned many discussions online, with most convinced the decision must have been related to Chadwick Boseman's death, R.I.P. to the King. Of course, it also created some continuity issues because T'Challa was Black Panther in the short-lived Fantastic Four animated series, which is presumably part of the same universe as this revival. X-Men 97 Season 1 showrunner Beau DeMayo was asked about the change when the finale aired and responded NDA. Now, though, he's finally cleared things up. I don't know why Marvel had certain directors try to spin and lie about this, but we produced X-Men 97 Season 1 in early 2021. He said on X, "The loss of Boseman weighed heavily on the studio as well as on me as a black man. Felt too soon to do T'Challa, put humanity before continuity." Mayo later added, "As I said at the time, it didn't feel right, just a matter of respect. If it were today, I think the choice would maybe be different. Either way, trying to spin it as something other than what it was makes no sense to me." Following Boseman's tragic passing, Marvel Studios chose not to recast as Black Panther in live action. Instead, the hero died off-screen in the MCU, and in 2022's Black Panther Wakanda Forever ended with the reveal that he had a son also named T'Challa, spoiler alert, and the fact that T'Challa appears to also be off-limits in animation has not sat well with many fans. Okay, let's circle back to Season 2 being delayed. I hate that. Obviously, you want to make sure that your scripts still work, but I also hope that we don't stray too far away from what we were ultimately getting in the first place, because it really did sound like we were about to go on a pretty great journey with what's next. Yeah, I will say this. I don't want them to rush it. So if you're going to give me the same quality or better than what you already gave me for Season 1, if you need to take the time, take the time. It is what it is. I just am sad that we have to wait that long, because I am getting very tired of shows taking the same kind of length that sometimes movie sequels will take. It's not a movie. I know that we've put more production value into stuff like that, but like there is something to be said, and it's a hard thing to do, but there's something to be said about a TV show being in and out every single year, the thing that you're connecting to. It's meant to be kind of stretched out like that so you can do things like that, but like I'm at the point where I don't even necessarily care about the finale of Stranger Things at this point. It's taken so long. I remember certain things, but I've forgotten a lot. You know what I'm saying? I am not here for this 2 to 3 year gap between seasons. It's one of the things that's been frustrating about The Boys. It was extremely frustrating about Invincible. I just really hope that we can get out of this era, and you really only save that kind of stuff for maybe if it's like, hey, new season every year, but this last season, we need an extra, 6 months. We need an extra year. Only because it's like we're wrapping this bitch up and we're going all out. To do that every single season, I really don't love that. That's me personally. I'm very curious what you think about that in the comments. Now, on the other news, I have been very forward where I agreed with Beau DeMayo's sentiment that when Chadwick first passed, I stood by the idea that I agreed. You don't set up this bullshit of never casting T'Challa again, but that you do take a movie off just out of respect. It was so fresh. It had just happened. And not only for us, but also for the cast, man. They people don't understand. Casts and crews really do become families. And on a movie like Black Panther, you can tell that they became a true fucking family, man. So I never had any problem with them doing that. I did have a slightly different take on how you handle it. I wouldn't have necessarily done a situation of like T'Challa a child, though, if maybe that was Feige's influence because, you know, there's been a lot of like talk about the next generation, the idea of young Avengers potentially. So that might be where that's coming from. The way I would have done it is you don't start with T'Challa like dead, but maybe you start with like a fight where you're not seeing his face or anything like that because he's in the outfit, but then he ends up just like lost. He's gone. And so you have a similar story of Shuri freaking out. I was supposed to be tracking him. I was supposed to be on top of it. And you can go back and find this. I came up with all this before the movie came out. I was hoping they would do something like this so that she could have that moment in the sun. You could have Shuri be the Black Panther, which has happened in the comics. You give us all a time to just breathe and mourn Chadwick. So like all of Wakanda at us in the world is like, I think he's dead. I think he's gone. Oh my God. Like, what do we do? Holy shit. Like, have that whole thing happen. And then in your post-credit scene, when Shuri has finally accepted that she has to be the queen, and the whole rest of the story could play the same, you then end up with just a over-the-shoulder, and it's clearly like the Panther habit, and it's like battle-worn or whatever, and you just see Shuri look up and go, brother? Boom. You have given the respect that you need. You acknowledge to everybody else that, no, T'Challa is coming back. We don't have to wait for some sort of time skip or anything else like that. If you ultimately revealed it was a variant, fine, sure, whatever. But like either way, you have acknowledged to folks, myself included, that knows how important T'Challa is as a character. To not have him be around is just blasphemous. So it read on its face because when you look at both the video game that's about to come out with Captain America and and again set in World War II, so you've got T'Chaka again. He was T'Chaka, the Black Panther was T'Chaka in X-Men 97, so we're thinking, wow, you won't even put it in animation? Like, what the fuck? I know a little bit of pushback on that is the fact that they did release what was left of What If, which were the final, season 1 of What If were the final performances, some of the final performances of Chadwick and T'Challa, Star-Lord T'Challa. Anyway. But yeah, overall, we just haven't been able to see the character again, and it's been frustrating people, hence why the recast T'Challa movement has gotten so big. And you have people with a serious outcry, and I'm now in that camp. If I had known that not having T'Challa for one film would then mean we would just never get the character again, or it would be forever before it happens, then I would have never been okay with it. I would have said that, we got to find a way to acknowledge him, but like this character's too important to just let be gone. And so I really need Disney to step up and fix some shit, man. You've had 3 different Spider-Men. When Christopher Reeves got sick over in DC, we've still had multiple Supermen after that. Like, you can't do this. This is a very, very, it's not just the world of Wakanda, but this character is a very vital character to not just comics, man, but specifically to Blerds, to black folk. That's our king, man. That is our king. So let me know what you think down in the comments, man. What you think about all the stuff with X-Men 97, the delay to 2026, why T'Chaka was used instead. Let me know what you think.